On Thanks for tuning to the Ontario ReShard Show. In regards to our special guest, she hails from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She's a singer songwriter signed to Masterpiece No Limit Records in 1997. Uh, being that this was the era that No Limit Records was the hottest label in hip hop. Uh, I guess experienced a chance to feature on numerous albums with Sifter Shocker, Master P, Mystical, Big Ed, Moby Dick, 504 Boys, Mac, Prime Suspects, and Mercedes. Um, Her voice uh, is featured on the single My Baby, which was a remake of Michael Jackson's I Want You Back on the Little Romeo album. That single became a household jingle and charted #1 on billboards for 13 weeks. That is not an easy feat, guys. So that's major right there.
Mhm.
She's also worked with members of the Cash Money record label, uh, alongside BG, Soldier Slim, the Hometown Trio Entertainment, artists like Lil Boosie, Webby, and Fox. We've been playing several of her songs, including her latest single, I'll Call Him, and her Christmas single, This Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the legendary Aldreamer, aka Ms.peaches.
Hello.
I hope I gave you a good intro. I hope it wasn't too long. I'll try to get everything in there. You've done a lot of amazing things over your career, so I was trying to get majority of it in there.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an honor to have you on, and a privilege to have you on. Probably after this show, I can go ahead and retire because that's pretty much my whole list of favorite artists. but
Oh, come on.
but I just because I know you have to have a busy schedule, so to jump right in, can you share who is Aldreamer when she's not on the stage or behind the mic?
She's a mother.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's a mother. She's a mother of a young adult and
Okay.
teens and
Mhm.
from 11 to 22. So, yeah, I just told my age, but yeah. But yeah, so
It's all good. It's all good.
I have a tribe, so I'm a mother and I am a wife. And
Mhm.
that in itself is my life. So
Mhm.
outside of doing music, I am living a normal, happy life with my tribe. So
Indeed, indeed. So just take it back to your roots. How was it growing up for you in Louisiana? Because that's a lot of history, food, music, and culture comes out of that state. So like, how was that like for you?
oh man, my childhood was wonderful.
Mhm.
I am a PK.
Okay.
So I grew up, of course, in church, and we was a type
Mhm.
of family that sometimes we had to wear our church clothes to school because every
Mhm.
day, we going to church or whatever, or on
Yeah.
Bible study night. Yeah. So
Mhm.
so I grew up in church, and
Mhm.
I, of course, did a lot of singing in choirs and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and and I started writing songs
Mhm.
around the age of 8. That's where I discovered that I had a gift of songwriting because I wasn't writing just like um, ABC type
Mhm.
songs. Like I was writing real songs to where
Mhm.
me and 3 other girls who are like family, our
Mhm.
family, we were called Faith. We was a group called Faith, and we used to sing
Nice.
songs like the Clark Sisters and
Mhm.
the Pace Sisters. That we used to sing those
Mhm.
songs, but we also used to sing a lot of the songs that I would write, and they were songs that would get the crowd going because they were nice.
Mhm.
So that's my background of music, like, and also on the other side with school, like,
Mhm.
there wasn't a program that my school
Mhm.
could have without me.
Mhm.
I would make sure that I was on program, whether it was to sing in the program. I did a lot
Mhm.
of acting as well.
Mhm.
So I did a lot of stage plays, and every football game, I had to be behind the mic singing the national anthem. And that was
Mhm.
my life throughout childhood to
Mhm.
my teenage life. It was my first love was music.
Mhm.
So,
And I
um,
guess When did you realize you want to be an actual artist? And where did you get the confidence to even step out
Um,
on that?
it started when I was young, when I was a little
Mm-hmm,
girl. So it was just like it was already in me.
mm-hmm,
I don't think that I ever had a moment where I was just like, oh, I want to be an artist. I
mm-hmm,
just wanted to do what I love to do, which was
mm-hmm,
create music, write it, and sing it.
mm-hmm,
So even with the group that I was talking about, not only did we sing at our church, we would go to different churches and sing.
mm-hmm,
So it was like second to nature for me to be up on the stage singing. The one thing that I never got over though was stage fright, but
mm-hmm,
that was just it. So for me, it was just it was normal. I wanted to sing. You know, I looked up to people like Whitney Houston,
mm-hmm,
Mariah Carey when I was younger. CeCe Peniston was one of my favorite singers. So um, I just knew I wanted to sing. The
mm-hmm,
artist part about it, the business name about it, you know, I really didn't see myself as an artist,
mm-hmm,
wanting to be an artist. I just wanted to do what I love to do, which
mm-hmm,
of course that's the name that they gave it. And when you coming from a small town like Baton Rouge,
mm-hmm,
at that time it wasn't like no big, you know, music scene. So you weren't known as an artist. You're known as who you are. Peaches is who I
mm-hmm,
was
mm-hmm.
growing up all my life. So I was known as Peaches, Peaches, Peaches who sing. Yeah, that Peaches. So yeah, and outside of music, of course, life was, you know, what Louisiana is known for. My dad is from New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
so I was able, me and my siblings, we were able to kind of get the best of both worlds
Mm-hmm.
as far as some of the culture because Mardi Gras was something, you know, we
Yeah.
love Mardi Gras
Mm-hmm.
um and cooking seafood,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff, crawfish, all the
Mm-hmm.
above, gumbo, all the above.
Yeah.
All of that is a part of growing up in Louisiana. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually just had some gator a few days ago. And I,
oh,
yeah, because like I said, I'm from Florida, but I do have relatives in Baton Rouge and New
uh-huh.
Orleans as well. So they kind of introduced like, hey, you need to try it out. It tastes like chicken, but but ever since I had
That
it
was
that
now,
one
you know what?
time,
Gator was the only one that I could eat and really see. My dad, like my dad, he'll do it all. Me, I can't. And he'll always say, "You don't know what you eating. You just know what they tell you what it is." Well, let them tell me what it is, because they're not gonna tell me that this is this squirrel on my plate. They're not gonna tell me this rabbit on
no,
my plate, and I'm gonna want to eat it. So
no,
yeah,
yeah, no raccoon, no possum for me. I'm good. No
yeah.
chitlins neither. Y'all can keep the chitlins too.
Now, you know, before I went pork free, like that was one of my favorites. Before I left, you know, the pork alone,
Yeah.
man, chitlins with some rice and some hot sauce. Woo!
I couldn't do it. I always on those nights my grandparents cooked that stuff. I would say I'll just fix me a peanut butter jelly sandwich or something. I think it was a mental thing though, more
Yeah,
so
because
than
baby,
anything else. Yeah,
they're good. They're good. The right person, though, you can't eat chitlins from everybody. They have to
yeah,
come from the right person. And yeah, and I made sure I didn't eat them from everybody. I ate them
mm-hmm.
from people that I know get in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kitchen and they clean it, clean
mm-hmm.
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And of course, like I mentioned before, you you dabbled. Well, I'm not sure. I'm gonna rephrase that. Um, you teamed up and partnered with No Limit Records, right? So how did that collaboration come about?
Okay.
Can you use on
So,
some hit records?
okay. So, how I even got a came to know No Limit.
Mm-hmm,
Me and my cousins who were also in the group.
mm-hmm,
We were best friends at the time, growing up together. So, um, Mia X was having a concert, and we and some other friends were going to the concert. We went to the
mm-hmm,
concert, and oh my goodness, we had a blast at that concert.
mm-hmm,
And so on the way leaving the concert, we
mm-hmm,
were crossing over like a bridge.
mm-hmm,
And I noticed because Baton Rouge at that time is like really small or whatever.
mm-hmm.
Um, I noticed these cars on the bridge that
Yeah.
were not like, yeah, these cars, these not people from here. So we automatically assumed this was because they was trailing right behind each other. So of
Hmm.
course we following, we fanning, we following, we trying to see where they going, whatever. So we end up seeing where they went, and we were too scared to go where
Hmm.
they were. So we kind of parked on the side of the building. We was watching them get out the car. But I wasn't too familiar with a lot of who the artists were, because
Hmm.
at the concert, I actually thought C Murder was Master P. I didn't know that was his brother
Well,
C
they
Murder.
look
So
very
I was just,
similar.
yeah, but I didn't know the difference because I knew the
Yeah.
music, but I didn't know the
The
faces.
face, yeah, yeah.
So that, we all in the car and they naming like the, who getting out the car of the ones who they knew or
Hmm.
whatever. So they I think it was like
Hmm.
Mac and members of the prime suspects. I want to say it
Hmm.
was Tiari,
Hmm.
T, my boy T. So they was coming because they trying to see who in these cars, right? So
Yeah.
they don't know who this is parked over here. So they come walking, and we get out the car and we talking. We like, can we take a picture? Blah blah blah. So they like, yeah. So they come in, we taking pictures with them and everything, and so we fanned out, and then this car pulls up
Hmm.
around us and on the side of us, and they're leaving, and it's Moby Dick, right?
Oh wow.
So he let down the window and he's talking to us, and so I
Hmm.
was like, "We know how to sing, we sing, we know how to sing." So he was like, "Oh yeah, really, whatever." So
Hmm.
I think he might have asked us how old we were, or something like that,
Hmm.
and he took down a number. He
Hmm.
took down a number. That was it.
Hmm.
We didn't hear from him um till one night. We have an artist from Baton Rouge called Bilo. I don't know if you're familiar with Bilo.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
Bilo was a high artist from Louisiana at that time as well. He was signed to
Hmm.
Universal.
Yeah.
Um I did a lot of music with Bilo as well. So we were I rode with Bilo and his manager and friends. I rode with them to a talent show.
Hmm.
Um in Lafayette. And you know what? I cannot remember if I performed at this talent show or not, but I know I went to
Hmm.
this talent show with them in Lafayette, and Moby Dick just so happened to be at that talent show. So
Wow.
when I saw him, I was like, "Hey, me and my cousins, we met you," and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember." And so we got to chopping it up, chopping it up. So
Hmm.
I gave him my number again,
Hmm.
just in case he didn't have it from the last time. And I said,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
y'all ever need somebody to sing or whatever. So he
Hmm.
was like, cool. Lo and behold, it may have been a couple of weeks. I don't remember the length of
Hmm.
time, but I got a call. I remember it as clear as day. I was at my mom's house and I was in her
Hmm.
kitchen, and I got a
Hmm.
call, and he was like, "Hey, we need somebody to come get on this song. Can you come?" And at that
Hmm.
time, I didn't have my ride, so he was like,
Hmm.
"I'll come get you, bring you to the studio. You come do the song, blah blah
Hmm.
blah." That it was history. So when he came and he picked me up, he took me to the studio, and that's when he was recording Life or Death with C Murder.
Hmm.
So that was the first song that I recorded with No Limit, was C
Hmm.
Murder's Life or Death. Um, his album was Life or Death, but the
Yeah,
song
yeah,
Life
yeah.
or Death, that was my first song.
Hmm.
And after that, it was just like I stayed around. I made sure like I was available 24/7 to whoever needed somebody to sing on something. I made sure I was around. I stayed close, and after a while, like after me getting on that song, then I ended up doing a song with Silk.
Hmm.
I think it was Thugging Me.
Hmm.
And I did that was my second song. And it was like after that, um, other people started asking for me
Hmm.
to do, I wanted to get on the song or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that was it. I was recording back to back to back with whoever say, "Hey, we need you to get on the song." So
What was it hard to convince Percy that you was the right singer for the songs?
nah, no, I think he heard the songs before he met me.
Hmm.
So he had heard, because he wasn't there those times
Hmm.
the first couple of times that I went. I
Hmm.
think when I met him, like I was at the studio one night and he came in and he just kind of looked like, who are you? And
Hmm.
they said who I was, he already knew
Yeah.
what I had done or whatever. So
Okay.
yeah, so it was easy peasy because I hadn't recorded at least about 3 or 4 songs with other
Hmm.
artists before I
Hmm.
actually met him.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay. I asked that question because I heard talking to other artists, they would say it's hard to convince, I guess, the top dog to like let the track stay on the album because so much convincing they have to go into that sometimes. But it's great that he didn't have no pushback from that.
Right. No,
Er,
I think it was a connection because for one, I'm
mhm.
I'm in Louisiana and I'm
Yeah,
from
yeah.
VR. We like, yeah, y'all in my city. But but nah, and I had already worked. I don't know if he knew or if he had already been given the rundown. I had
Mhm.
already worked with some artists like Boosie
Mhm.
and like
Yeah.
Bilo and them like in BR. So it was
Mhm.
just like, you know, I was already
Mhm.
a familiar person in my
Mhm.
city.
That's always good. Uh, when you already had that notoriety versus just got it from grandma's house and nobody knows
Right.
she is.
Yeah. I was
But
I was actually the thing about Moby calling me, like it was just like, like I was just shocked because I'm more than sure I'm not the only person or the
that
only
said it,
singer
yeah.
that has approached them or has tried to
Hmm.
get on with them because I wasn't sure how long they had been in Baton Rouge. Like the studio
Hmm.
was at this time the studio was in Baton Rouge.
Yes.
I didn't
Hmm.
I didn't know how long they had been there. So I'm
Hmm.
more than sure that somebody had ran across them, you know, for
Hmm.
an opportunity, wanting an opportunity. So I'm definitely
Hmm.
grateful that I got that call.
And earlier, I know you mentioned that you was a PK. So did you have any kickback from your family about doing like rap?
Well, by this time, my dad and my mom had been divorced for like a couple
Hmm.
of years,
Hmm.
so I wasn't a daddy's girl.
Hmm.
So, um, I'm more than sure he probably had his choice of words, but
Hmm.
outside of him, um, not so much really. Like everybody was kind of excited at the fact
Hmm.
that because this is a popular, they stars.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
just like it was like a wow, this is a great opportunity for somebody
Hmm.
who we know and everybody in my
Hmm.
family knew what my passion was because that's all I ever did. So it was more
Hmm.
so like yeah, it was more so even but my mom is probably no, I'm not going to even say probably. My mom is the person who has been supportive of me
Hmm.
doing music throughout my
Hmm.
entire life. Even now,
Hmm.
she's always, she'll go into prayer immediately
Hmm.
when we get on the phone, about God blessing me and my career and stuff like that. So my mom, she didn't have, she definitely wasn't any way judgmental, and she's
Hmm.
very like my sister said, I think her prayers go directly to God's ears. So,
Hmm. That's amazing to have that support because I hear stories from like other PKs like, hey, I had to sneak and do it, or the family
right,
disowned me, and also it's great to hear that you actually had support and still have
right.
support for
Now, I
everything
know my
that you do.
dad, if he was around, like
Hmm.
if he was around me, oh no, yeah, I had yeah.
Yeah, because I
My
know.
dad, he's not just he wasn't just the preacher. He was the man that thought he like you going to hell.
Yeah, that's what
So
my
yeah,
grandfather told me that too. Like when I started playing like funk music, because I'm a guitarist. So they say, yeah,
right,
that's devil music. But
yeah.
remind you, this dude used to be on shows with like Sam Cooke and James Brown back in the day, but called it
Wow,
the devil music.
right. But I'm the one
So
that's gonna go.
I said, well, you all right? You still here? But
Right.
but
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's why I always ask that question when I hear like people say, "Oh, I'm a PK kid," or my mother is a mother in the church, or my father is a deacon. I always ask that question just to hear
Hmm.
different because everybody's perspective is different,
Right.
Um, so currently we play several of your songs because on the station we have R&B, we have pop, we have gospel. But as of right now, this could change at any moment. But the most requested song from you is called "I Call Him."
Hmm.
So can you share like the story behind that particular song?
Um, Hmm. I I heard the beat first. I do a lot of online, like all these different. They have, we in the
Hmm.
digital world now, so
Yeah.
this particular website where there were beats, and I was just listening. I was listening to beats, and this Afro beat came on,
Hmm.
and I liked it, and I
Hmm.
immediately heard lyrics to it. So
Hmm.
and that's kind of, if I don't write with the beat. Like the majority of the songs that I write already are here before I actually get the beat.
Hmm.
But this particular
Yeah.
song, like if I hear a beat, if I don't immediately hear something, I don't really mess with it. But this particular
Hmm.
beat, I immediately, the words started coming. I grabbed my, I have a voice record on my phone, and
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
I'll forget, so I started
Hmm.
voice recording it, and that was just it. It took me a couple of days to actually put the full, write the whole song. And then
Hmm.
um, once I had written it, I called the guy who recorded me, and, set up the studio time, and recorded it. And the process is always amazing. It's always fun putting it
Most
together.
definitely.
And this is my first time going that angle with an Afro
Hmm.
beat. And so I was kind of curious as how will it sound the same once I
Hmm.
record it? And
Yeah.
it sound I was glad about it. So it
Hmm.
actually took me a while to put it out.
Hmm.
You have artists that'll say, like, I wrote it for so long, what's old to
Hmm.
me is new to everybody else if I never
Yeah, for
released
sure.
it. And this is one of
Hmm.
those songs. I held on to it for a while and was just waiting for a
Hmm.
moment to put it out. And then I ended up
Hmm.
seeing something on social media where a guy was saying how, as creators, um, a lot of times artists and musicians will create something and will hold on to it, and he was like, you
Yeah.
can't die with it, so just put it out.
Hmm.
Put it
Yeah.
out, no matter how old it is. Put it out, put it out. So I was like, you know what, that's one of my problems. I will hold on to a song
Hmm.
and wait and be like, I'm waiting to do an EP, I'm gonna wait and do an album, I'm gonna wait for this,
Hmm.
wait for that, and I'm gonna put this together. And I think, I talk to God a lot about guidance when
Hmm.
it comes to me doing music. And he said the time is now, and
Hmm.
I put it out, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And like I said, people here in OKC, they've been requesting it every day. Um,
Really.
at my personal station, but I also partner with 8 other stations that I run my actual show on. Um,
Hmm.
and that's in Tyler, Texas, Springfield, Massachusetts, um, St. John's, Antigua, New York, and San Diego. And each of those places, people are like blowing up. Because it's like, is that the same Ms.peaches? Yes, it's the same person. uh, so, but so people, like I said, they just been requesting us over and over, and it's like, okay, so hopefully, next quarter, your royalty check should be looking pretty nice,
Nice. Yeah. Thank you,
pretty
Lord.
nice. Hopefully, they'll always come in handy.
Yeah.
Um, so moving along, I want to get into some rapid questions before we let you go. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
I'm gonna start off with something easy, nice and easy. Of course, if you don't want to answer one, you could just say Grambling or LSU, whichever one you want to go with.
Okay.
Um, so the first one, who has the better food, Baton Rouge or New Orleans?
New Orleans gonna kill me for this, but I have to say Baton Rouge, and I have to say why.
Okay.
Baton Rouge is soul food. New
Hmm.
Orleans is seafood, but the people
Hmm.
in Baton Rouge can do the soul food and the seafood. My mama from the
Hmm.
country, like country,
Hmm.
country. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so when you get to me, it's like in BR, I'm getting the best of both worlds. New Orleans,
yeah.
I'm gonna get the good gumbo, I'm gonna get the good etouffee,
Hmm.
I'm gonna get
Hmm.
the good seafood, but I can get that in
Hmm.
BR too. And the cornbread and collard greens and candy yams, and yeah.
Yeah, I might have to take me a trip just to go get some of that food. but So I just made myself look a big back. But the next one, what's the next one? Next one is how do you feel you have evolved as a person and as an artist over the years?
As a person, oh my gosh. As a person, I have evolved tremendously. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the hot girl era.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that I was a hot girl. So I'm just gonna be
Mm-hmm.
honest, like you, that was my era.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I definitely was a wild PK.
Mm-hmm.
Once I was out on my own,
Yeah,
clubbing
yeah.
and everything, I enjoyed my youth of life.
Mm-hmm.
And Of course, now of course, I mean, I'm a mother. I think
Mm-hmm.
my complete settlement came when I had my daughter. I
Mm-hmm.
have two sons, and then I have my
Mm-hmm.
my oldest daughter. And when I had
Mm-hmm.
her, for me, having a girl was just kind of like a game changer.
For sure.
Because I knew that this person was going to be really watching me, and she's going to mimic and model me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
she definitely was a huge as far as me just not wanting to be out, not hanging out as much as
Mm-hmm.
I used to and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I, evolving now, just even more spiritually, because even as a PK, and I don't know if you understand this, is like even as a PK, um, I was in church,
Mm-hmm.
but I was never taught that importance of that relationship.
Yeah.
So it was
It
just like, yeah,
just go
I'm
because you had to
hearing the
go.
messages. Yeah, I'm hearing the messages, but that was just it. I didn't understand that this thing is an actual relationship, like
Mm-hmm.
a man and a woman, a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I've definitely evolved spiritually, because now it's just like my relationship with God is just like definitely nothing like it was in my teenage to
Mm-hmm.
my young adult years. I've
Mm-hmm.
evolved there. And um musically, I've evolved a lot as far as learning the business.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am one of the ones that was like, and back in my era, it was like you got the talent, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it was the talent that was really making it. And of course, now we're in
Mm-hmm.
the age where you don't even have to have talent.
No,
And
I should not.
none at
I'm
all.
let I'm let that go. I'm about to say something. I'm gonna let it go.
Right. You don't have to have any at all. And you can make it. But I've learned to do music more so
Mm-hmm.
now, just because I love to do it, not just because I want to be successful in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've always had the love for it, but I've always wanted the success of it. Like that's what I've always chased, the success of it, especially once you've gotten a taste of
Yeah.
being with no women. I've gotten a taste
Mm-hmm.
of it. And then I had to realize, like, no, I actually love this is my passion. This is not something
Mm-hmm.
that I saw somebody else do and I want to mimic
Mm-hmm.
it and I want to mock it. No, this is the gift that God has given me. So
Mm-hmm.
whether I have 10 listeners, one listener,
Mm-hmm.
1,000 listeners, the fact that I'm doing what I love and I'm sharing it with the world, to me,
Mm-hmm.
that's my evolving, because I've learned the business. And now I've learned to just do what I love to do and let the
Mm-hmm.
universe and let God do the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And
Yeah.
this is a result of it. Here we
Yeah, yeah,
are.
for
So, yeah.
sure. Because I know there's a lot of artists today, and I had the same conversation with a lot of. I shouldn't say I'm old, but well, I say old. I would say 38 and up crowd artists that I spoke with over the years, and it's like a lot of them feel like today's artists really don't, I guess, quote unquote, hustle to get known. They just throw some stuff up on social media and think that's it. A lot of them don't do like radio drops. They don't do interviews. They just think social media is supposed to
Right.
carry everything. In some cases, social media does help, but you still got to get out and meet the people,
Right.
because these
Network
are the
make the
people that's
network.
yeah. Because
Right.
I like that. I'm about to use that. But these are people that if you, especially if you sign to a label, that can be the determining factor whether you stay on that label or not. Those album
Right,
sales are important because I know people that once sold, for instance, sold like 6 million copies of a single, still got dropped because Beyonce is selling billions or millions. So
right,
on paper, 6 million looks like a lot, but in reality,
right,
to those folks, it's like, oh, that's nothing. So we're gonna
right,
drop you, and you owe us money now. So it's like
right,
it's a hard thing to deal with. Um, so that's one of the things I always ask, like just kind of get people understanding who's been in the game for, some years and really got some skin in the game.
right.
So the next one is I had a fan question somebody sent it to me, um, and they asked, of course, you've been on top of the Billboard charts um, for 13 weeks. Like when you first heard that you was at the top of the charts, what was that feeling like, and how did you even find out about it?
Honestly, when it was at the top of the charts, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even aware that it was at the top of the charts. I knew
Mm-hmm.
the song was huge,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't the person checking billboards. I
Mm-hmm.
was watching 106 in Park, and I knew it
Yeah,
was number
yeah.
one on 106. I knew it was number one on 106 in Park, but I wasn't there. I wasn't there knowing the different levels of
Mm-hmm.
success of a song. Um, to really even be paying attention to it. It was actually kind of like way later that I when I researched it years later,
Mm-hmm.
I realized how
Mm-hmm.
long it had been at the top of the charts. So for me, it was just more so learning how huge the song was. It was kind of bittersweet, and I'm just gonna be honest because
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I had success that I did not play a part in. um
Mm-hmm.
Simply because
Okay.
I was not supposed to stay on that song. I was actually supposed to be referencing the song for
Wow.
3LW. Yeah, I was asked to reference the song for 3LW
Mm-hmm.
at the time when I did the song, and then I didn't learn that I was kept on the song until one day I was in New Orleans with my oldest brother
Mm-hmm.
who's no longer with us. But we was at a daiquiri shop, and I never forget this.
Mm-hmm.
So he went in the daiquiri shop and he came back out and got in the car. And when he got back in the
Mm-hmm.
car, he turned on the radio. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
really loud though, but I could hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talking,
Yeah.
and I'm like, hold up, turn it up. And he turned it up, and it was me. And I was shocked. I was like, I said, that's me on that song. And so he like, get the out of here. No, that's me on that song. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it was kind of bittersweet for me because it wasn't done the way that it should have been done.
Yeah.
But I was definitely happy for the success of the song. I just wish I
Mm-hmm.
was able to play a role in it, especially when it was on 106 and Park.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Free and AJ used to all every time they would have P and Romeo there, they would ask P, who is the girl? Is
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
really the girl on the video? And he
Mm-hmm.
would never say who the person was on the
Mm-hmm.
song. So it was just kind of like, yeah. But anyways, I'm definitely I even still I definitely was happy that the song was successful, that it was like
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was like that was like a household song that
Mm-hmm.
kids and things would sing and stuff like that. So, um, and I'm definitely proud of the what it has done for Romeo because that was his
Mm-hmm.
that was his first song, that was his first
Yeah.
single. So yeah.
Yeah, my youngest sister, should I say, she wore that CD out. So where we had to buy like 4 copies of that one CD just for that one song. The one song. But before we let you go, how do you balance your personal life with your music career? Because you do so many things. You like you say, your wife, your mom, kids in itself can be very time consuming. So how do you balance like their personal life with your music career?
Um, One of the things that because my family and my family is my priority.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so music is done like when I'm able to.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the studio when I'm able to
Mm-hmm.
record, when I'm able to, that's when that's kind of like that's it's second place. It's not first place. So it definitely balances out because I make what's supposed to be a priority a priority.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we have two more questions before we let you go. What is next for you?
More. um
Okay.
I'm definitely working on a really soulful song right now
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be my next project to put out. 2025, 20 the end of 2024 was kind of like my just do it and put it out. It was like a
Mm-hmm.
just do it,
Yeah.
don't procrastinate, just do it. So it's a good feeling when you're just not kind of sitting on something and you plan to do
Mm-hmm.
something and then time passes away because those Christmas songs almost didn't make it. I just
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, like because I was procrastinating, I wrote them and I was just like, I'll book the studio time, I'll book the studio time. So
Mm-hmm.
my plan for 2025 is to do as much as I can, and continue to just put the music put the music out there and let whomever gravitate towards it, let them gravitate, because I
Mm-hmm.
recently did a reggae song as well.
Oh,
And
nice.
all of these kind of came back to back, the reggae song, the gospel song, and the two Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm.
All of those were,
Mm-hmm.
I pushed them out, put them out back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And the reggae song actually drew a lot of fans from
Mm-hmm.
international.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, for me, that was just like, okay, if I continue being consistent with what I'm doing, um, there's fans out there that want to hear it. I have
Mm-hmm.
to put it out there for them. So that's my thing, is to just do more of what I
Mm-hmm.
love,
Mm-hmm.
less procrastination, and don't second guess myself. Once I
Mm-hmm.
have the project the way um that I feel is that it's ready to
Mm-hmm.
just do it. Just put it out there. Being that it's a gift, one of the things that I am grateful for is that um, it's a gift and
Mm-hmm.
it does not stop.
Yeah.
So Kanye once said something that is so truthful. He was like, a creative person will always be creative. Like they don't get too old and say, you know what, I don't want to create no more. No, that is something that literally sticks with you
Ever.
forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for one, I can't control the songs that come into my head. They just come.
Mm-hmm.
So, being that if they ever stop, then I feel like that's God's way of telling me, okay, done you've done that, and you're good now.
Mm-hmm.
But until they stop, I will continue to put out good music, positive music. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm at a point in my life. I don't do the no limit, all the different no limit type songs or whatever. So when artists reach out to me and they want to do a song, the first thing I want to know is let me hear it and what is it
Mm-hmm.
about? Because now I
Mm-hmm.
have children that are listening to the
Yeah, you gotta be
music that we
conscious.
create.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I
Mm-hmm.
learned like, oh, I was one of the ones putting out the crazy music that that I
Okay.
had other people kids listening to. So now it's just like you learn like, yes, music does have a major influence. So I'm more so aware of the message, that I put out and what I want people to sing along to or say along to. So.
Mm-hmm. And our last question for you before I let you go is how can the listener sow a seed into what you're doing, your whole music movement? How can they sow a seed?
Well, of course, we living in the world of Cash App.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do have Cash App, which is $ Aldreamer Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my name. And also they can go to my Spotify under
Mm-hmm.
Aldreamer or Ms.peaches, and I do have where fans can fund as well. So
Okay. Awesome. Well, guys, who is joined by the incredible, the legend herself, Aldreamer, formerly known as Ms.peaches. Keep it locked here. Again, keep it locked here on the Ontario ReShard Show. Coming up, we have one of her latest singles, "I'll Call Him," by sister Aldreamer.